What is up? What's poppin'? You know it ain't no stopping. It is your boy, the International Sensei, and welcome to the Entity Dojo podcast, your source for every damn thing. But of course, I'm going to be focusing on some fighting related topics today, man. Keep it right, keep it tight, and above all, please talk to me nice. Most of us go to college to obtain the knowledge, but is it better to have more knowledge or less knowledge? So having no knowledge or little knowledge. In the College of Martial Arts, all right, in Martial Arts University, is it better to be a blank slate, or is it better to be that guy that learned 1 month of whatever and 2 weeks of whatever? For me, I always think it is best to be a blank slate. Now, I think it's starting to happen for me often. It's like when I start training something. So, for example, I started training Kali a lot more because I worked so much with weapons during extreme martial arts and doing like fight scenes and things like that with weapons. There are certain things that have come natural to me that sometimes people will have to work like a couple weeks, couple months to understand. But it's just because I've become so comfortable with working with weapons and flowing with weapons. There are certain things that translate. And this is one thing that you learn in martial arts when you have a lot of knowledge, that there are a lot of parallels style to style, and there are a lot of things that that coincide with each other. It might just be a different angle. You know what I mean? Like, for a great example of that is like Wonder Boy, how he fights. He does the blitzing, which is like a traditional element of point fighting, which is like the back fist, reverse punch, blitz in, blitz out. He does the same thing, except he's using the jab cross. It's the exact same thing. The only difference is he's changing how he throws that lead hand. And it's so dope to think about, because it's like, okay, so we really are allowed to use exactly what we learned, but we might just need to tweak it a little bit or add a different element into it. And now we can apply that to MMA. We can then apply it to other styles, you know what I'm saying? So it's so dope. Like for me, I mean, I work with nunchucks all the time. I work with bow staff. I work with Extrema sticks. I work with sword. And getting to do my like first Kali class and getting to do like certain stuff, like learning the Heaven Six, learning Earth Six, learning Standard, learning different like different techniques and different attacks, breaking in on people, different and then implementing that in choreography. There's certain stuff that you can notice, and there's certain stuff that you can learn, but when you're going into that, even if you have a lot of knowledge of martial arts as a whole, be a blank slate. Don't be that guy that's like, okay, well, I watched a YouTube video, and that's what I mean by a little knowledge. You know what I mean? Because you don't know that you don't know. For me, that's what little knowledge is. When you have this little bit of stuff that you like, oh, well, I've done this, but you really haven't. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know that you don't know, and it shows. And it ends up holding you back because you think you're impressing someone when really you're not. You're more or less offending them. What impresses people is the effort. What impresses people is the hard work. What impresses people is the dedication. So, like, are you working on things even though you're not coming to the class? Maybe like you're training super hard even if you're not there. You're working on the stuff that they showed you. You're researching things and you're finding different things to add to your repertoire. You're training with people outside of the gym. You're incorporating new things. You're experimenting with different pathways of techniques and stuff. That's what is important. But if you're the person like, oh, well, I've taken a week of this and a week of that and a month of this and a whatever of this, and I went to this thing, I went to that thing. It's just, oh my God, it's the most, and it's for me as a person that does martial arts and trying to have like martial arts discussions with people, it's the most aggravating shit in the world. And here's why it's aggravating, because I would rather a person come to me and be like, look, because I have like a heavy kicking background. I did karate for many years. I did taekwondo, got my black belts in both of those. I did Muay Thai for many years. So I understand a lot about kicking and different kicking techniques and how to set up certain stuff and how to make it look clean, how to make it more effective, more efficient, different stuff like that. I would rather a person come to me and be like, hey, I'm trying to learn how to throw a back kick properly. Can you help me? Can you look at my form? Can you help me break it down? That's that's honestly a form of having no knowledge. And here's why I say that, because you're understanding that you don't know something. Like, you're willing to admit that you openly do not know something. And you're coming to me, or you're coming to your instructor saying, hey, look, I know that you know this. I don't. Okay, like, I know what it is, but I truly do not know how to throw this properly, or I don't know how to do this technique, or I don't know how to do this sequence in Kali, or I don't know, like, this part of the form, whatever. You're admittedly knowing that you don't know, and that's the best thing you can do, is say, you know what, I don't know. I need to go get help, instead of pretending that you do, and then you're throwing bad kicks. And I see that so much. So someone came up to me and was like, hey, all right, I need help throwing a tornado kick. I don't know how to throw it. Like, I can kind of show you what I have so far, and then I just break it down in increments. I break it down, break it down, break it down. As opposed to someone that's like, oh, well, yeah, I've done this so many times, blah, 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 and then they throw the kick, and they damn near tear their freaking knee apart because they don't know how to throw it. Or they're freaking doing a scene with Kali, or they're trying to do like just something as simple as the Heaven 6, and their angle 1 isn't clean and things like that. Like, they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're all willy-nilly with it. They're not even able to flow well enough to incorporate footwork. They're just all over the place, and it just looks terrible because they only have that little bit of knowledge. They think that they know, but they don't. And it's just such a pain in the ass, because it's like, first of all, I'm not a person that like gets in arguments with people, so like, I'm not here to argue. I just hate to see a person that isn't open to understanding. You know what I mean? I would rather ask. Like, I do it. Like, if I'm making choreo and I'm using a Kali stick, or I'm using a staff or something, and I'm drawing a blank, I'll call one of the instructors, if they're on the premises, and be like, hey, all right, I want to do something with this, but I'm not sure, like, if we're doing like a fight with Kali, and I was like, I'm not sure how to, like, what's a good way to break in on this, like, to break up the rhythm of this flow, but still make it look good for the choreography, or whatever it is. Or like, hey, I'm trying to do a sword versus empty hand, and I want to incorporate some kicks, or I want to incorporate some throws. What are some good, like, transitional moves that I can incorporate with this that could make it look clean but still make it look like look realistic? You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. It can be something as small as that, or it could be something as like, look, I want to learn how to kickbox. I don't know anything about kickboxing. I can show you how I move or whatever, and you evaluate me from there. But right now, I need you to help me because I don't know. Knowing that you don't know is the best thing, and it's the most humble thing you can do. You can't be arrogant and assume that you know everything, especially when you haven't reached a level. Well, honestly, like, full complete mastery is like damn near unattainable. But you know what? Like, a person that has mastered their craft, a person that is putting in those thousands and thousands of hours in order to be proficient at that. But like, I would say, look, anyone that's new to the arts, anyone that's been in the arts for a long time, understand what you don't know, and you'll learn so much more. Be an open book. I keep saying this. Be an open book. Be a blank slate. Be an empty art notepad that is just waiting to be filled with beautiful paintings. And you'd be surprised how much you'll end up learning versus someone that just assumes they know something and is just combative with the people instructing. They're always questioning things. Now, you can question things, but everything shouldn't be, when we were at the freaking McDojo, they were telling us that instead of properly, like, doing this, like, disarm that you did, we need to freaking do a fucking triple cork and kick the knife out of their hand, and then take a Sprite and throw the Sprite on their legs because it disintegrates skin, and then hit them with the fucking death touch and shit. Like, no. Like, no. Like, you know that you don't know, and it's okay. Like, understand that you don't know, and understand that that's okay. Then people are not going to get mad at you. Real martial arts instructors are not going to get upset with you. They're going to break it down. They're going to teach you, and they're going to be thankful that you understood that you didn't know. The people that annoy martial arts instructors are the people that question. And it's fine to question, but question with respect, question with regard to this person taking their time out of their day to help you learn something, and question with the mindset that, okay, well, I see that, but if you don't mind me asking, where can I apply that? Not where does that apply or how does that apply? You know what I mean? Like, don't be the doubter, but be like, hey, I'm curious, like, when is a good time to use that? Or, hey, can you show more examples of that move? Like, it seems like it's a great move, but I'm not really sure. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not really seeing not even the effectiveness, but I'm not seeing how someone my size could pull that off, or I'm very short, so do you think I'd be able to use that? Or I feel like my kicks are slow, could I do that? Blah blah blah, whatever. You get what I'm saying. But I say that all in saying is, like, look, if you're learning a new style, if you're learning a new weapon, always go in there as a blank slate, man. Please do it. But with that being said, man, thank you so much for listening. International_Sensei is the Instagram. Sensei_Global21 is the Twitter. The Entity Dojo podcast is on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and all that good stuff, man. Thank you so much. Much love to you guys, man. And we must now exit the dojo. Us.